Hello pilots and welcome back to Flight Academy Season 8, brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and in this matchup, which is game 14 of our 30 game series, nearly at the halfway point, we've got Wes and his Empire up against Ben and his First Order. Ben's First Order has been showing just how scary they can be. This one is deathmatch, so no objectives. First player to 10 points is going to win unless they hit 25 minutes or 12 rounds. So it's going to be an really interesting one to see. Ben is on an absolute monster run at the moment. He has been desperately trying to get that third title. He's got himself in a really good position so far. He has got 4 wins out of 4 so far. So yeah, not doing too badly. Wes hasn't yet got a win this series, but he's put up some really good fights and is just having a great time with it. Deathrain with Snapshot, I tell you what, is absolutely crazy. Still waiting to see Second Sister go Super Saiyan Prockets at some point. Kind of would like to see that up against Kylo Ren. That could be quite interesting, just to max out all the crits with Second Sister. But looks like Deathrain is turning away, probably hoping that Kylo and Manor is going to try and come in quick, maybe drop some cluster, maybe drop a prox mine. And Second Sister going the opposite route and zipping up down the board. Yeah, just looking back at the table, we had it up at the end of game 12. Ben is doing really well. He said he's got 4 wins, and I believe out of that he's got something like 6 kills. So there's only 2 games he hasn't got full points for so far. So he's in a really solid position. There we go. There's Malorus jumping up the ball quite quickly, putting himself into an interesting position. He doesn't have much space going left or down the board to get around those obstacles there. Just going to refresh myself on the TIFO's dial. Does have the 1 hard, but I think that would pop him on the obstacle if he tries to go down. Would have to sort of hope to try and thread the needle to avoid any potential prox mine from Deathrain. This all depends though if Deathrain does survive the round. I mean, it's 9 health to take out, so it will be some very unfortunate dice rolls from Wes and some incredibly good dice rolls from Ben. So I don't anticipate that happening, but we've got a lock from Malorus. Does he spend his charge to go super focus or just rely on the lock? And Kylo has just the focus, but he does have advanced optics in there, and the stress has been picked up, so we are going super focus with Malorus. And I think as well that might just avoid, that might be just unobstructed there. That's very close. But that is the missiles being shot, gets the evade, 2 shields down on Deathrain. Not too bad. Ooh, is that range 3 there from Kylo? Oh, that's a poor roll. Advanced optics 1 up, force for another. That was not a good roll from Kylo. Could have really done with a target lock there. Just the 1 damage, so it was just a range 3, so shields down on Deathrain. Could have been a lot worse there. Could have been a lot worse for Wes. Second sister obviously not quite got arc there, but in a really prime position to too hard or too bank round towards Ben's forces. I feel a too hard would be quite nice. Here is the Prox mine. So there is a reasonable gap there for Malorus to thread through. 3 bank followed by a boost might avoid the Prox mine, or he could just go straight over the gas cloud and run the risk of being ionized. Whereas just having a look at Deathrain's ability to do an action after you launch or drop a device. But got to be careful. If it does the boost, what has he got dialed in though? Those system phase repositions, that you've got to be real careful when you're doing them. Depending on what you've, obviously where you end up repositioning yourself, that boost is not going to fit. You don't have collision detectors to avoid that. And judging by Wes not looking the other way, I think he might have been trying to K-turn. But here is the too hard from Second Sister. What we're going to see, target computer or focus. Taking the focus this turn. I'd have been tempted with a target lock, to be honest. And then maybe see if next turn you can get yourself in a nice position with a focus, have a double modded shot. So if he'd have gone for the, looks like it's going to be a K-turn, if he'd have gone for the barrel roll, but the barrel roll would have been red, which meant he wouldn't be able to do, he wouldn't be able to K-turn off that, he'd end up doing a 2 white. Oh, this is not going to be good. He is going over that obstacle. And not only that, he will be going over that obstacle next turn as well. So let's see what the roll for the obstacle is. So that is a debris, so it's going to double stress him. Does he take damage? He does take damage. That's so unfortunate as well. A double stress Punisher is a very unhappy Punisher. Doesn't have the greatest dial to remove stress, and when you're going back over that obstacle again in a moment, really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Kylo correctly anticipated the Prox mine and Second Sister by the look of it. Looks like we've got a Force ship face-off here, and unfortunately for Second Sister, whilst I love the Interceptor, I do think that the Silencer is going to have a massive advantage here. The debate is, what action is he going for? That focus again. Yep, uses the focus, leaning into the advanced optics there. Oh, and Malor is just disengaging. Neither ship wanted to go anywhere near that prox mine, so whilst it's unfortunate where Redline has ended up, that Punisher has used its bombs to its sort of secondary effect. If it's not getting damage, making your opponent have to adjust. Malorus is now away from the fight for a couple of turns. Ooh, solid shot there from Kylo into Second Sister. Ooh. Brilliant Evasion cannot save that one. You need focuses for Brilliant Evasion. That is Second Sister down to one hull. Ooh, that is not fun. It's a good job there's no crits in there, because that could have popped Second Sister in one shot. But does she have the procket? No, bullseye, no prockets. Do we go with Deathrain first, see if we can strip some of those tokens, strip a force down, strip a focus off? Nope, we're going Second Sister first. Ooh. Just the shield down, but his green dice, not happy green dice there for Kylo. Focus has been spent, now going for Deathrain. It is a range 3 obstructed shot, so it's 2 versus 5. Gets 1. Green dice showing their ideal flavour there, but that is Kylo okay. Second Sister's in a bad position right now. Could look to try and leapfrog over Kylo to get at Malorus, but not really much space to move around there afterwards. Malorus probably just try and get out of there, so poor Deathrain. Not going far enough. Obviously looking to remove that stress, knowing it was going to get one back. Does he take any more damage? He does. That's Deathrain half pointed as well, so it's now 4 points to nothing in Ben's favour. That K-turn from Deathrain has been incredibly unfortunate. Oh, that is the 3. Bang doesn't go anywhere near as far enough as I was anticipating. So that does bump into Kylo. Oh, looks like it was a 3 sloop as well. Unfortunately, Kylo does manage the K-turn. Kylo leaves himself open for a shot from Redline, but at this point, I don't think Kylo's too worried. Malorus just dancing away, happy to spend a couple of turns moving away, might grab a lock, might not need to. Kylo is in a great position. Going super defensive, okay. Kylo range 2 with the Force into a 1 health Second Sister. Oh, second sister is now down. Evade not needed for Malorus there. This has just got immensely harder for... Whereas, what am I saying about Deathrain kind of been able to Deathrain? Deathrain's on obstacle. Deathrain can't shoot. Deathrain is still going to have to take 2 turns to clear those stress, so this is particularly unfortunate for Wes there. I do feel really sorry for him. Obviously, the K-turn, if he hadn't have hit that obstacle, that K-turn would have been absolutely brilliant. Would have been a great move, but just too close to that obstacle when trying to do that barrel roll. Or that boost even, I think possibly could have been better to look to disengage, maybe take a lock in that turn and then just do the 2 bank round and then spend a bit of time coming back. But hindsight is 2020. Sometimes it looks like it's going to pan out. I mean, maybe even boosting the other way if he'd have done a hard turn instead to come back towards his setup and round. But I can see why the K10, 25 minutes, it's not a lot of time. You want to try and keep your guns on target as long as possible in the game. So doing what you can to get your guns back in with a K-turn or a sloop is always going to be very, very good option in the right circumstance. But looks like Malorus might be sneaking in a range 3 shot there. Yeah, catching Deathrain at range 3. He's already got the focus. And spending that focus, hit crit into Deathrain. Not going to be enough to kill, but... Oh, and it was a direct hit as well. And that's at this point where we think we've got the overlay wrong. Malorus doesn't have cluster missiles, he's got concussion missiles, so exposing a damage card there. We will get that updated for future Flight Academy lists, but it is actually concussion missiles that Malorus has, not cluster missiles. And let's see. Damaged engine. It's a very sorry Punisher right now, but he does have, I think it's range 2 on Kylo. Yeah, so ships are at range. Ooh, definitely going to be calling the judge there. Ships are at range 1 of each other, but it's whether they're range 1 in arc. It's almost like you need a range 1 and a bit template, because if you've got one of the 1.5 range templates, they're just a bit too long. A range 1 and a bit, just so you can get it on the actual guide, but I believe that is range 2. Oh, not bad though, hit crit. So that was snapshot actually, so a nice snapshot there. taking the last shield off, but much better. So that's going into Malorus. I reckon I would have continued it on Kylo there, to be honest. So that was actually really good that it was range 2, because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to use Snapshot there to get that cheeky little shot off on Kylo. But Redline is finally de-stressed. But Mana is just hard turning in and not bumping. Kylo, I anticipate a Talon roll, but probably won't need the assistance there. Taking that evade in case doesn't go down, probably will super focus. There we go. The kill box has been formed. Kylo Ren and Malorus, super focus triggered. Believe that target lock is actually Malorus's as well. Yep, going to spend the target lock. And that will be good night, Deathrain, unfortunately. Valiant effort till the end there. Really unfortunate turn 2, I think, kind of kept the game going in the direction it was going to eventually end up. It's always going to be really difficult against this first order list. It's so very strong. Malorus with his 2 charges to super focus. Kylo, who can be offensive and defensive in such a powerful ship, always going to be a tough one. Unfortunate for Second Sister, got into a nice position, but then just got absolutely hammered back. So, great game from Wes, really well played. Ben absolutely dominated it, keeping it 5 from 5 for Ben. So he is definitely halfway there he's got one hand on the Season 8 trophy as it stands. Can he keep it up? Can he maintain this? Can he go perfect for wins? He can't go perfect for kills, he's dropped 2, but can he go perfect for wins in this season? We will have to find out. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.